Hello, Arayay, and welcome to PowerOfMetal.cl, and thank you for being here. So, first of all, what do you feel of returning to Chile after more than 10 years of your show with, I think, Adrenaline Mob, it was?
Has it been 10 years, really?
Yeah, 2013.
It feels like it's been longer, but we're ready to get back. We're sad that it's been that long. I don't know why. I have no idea why we haven't been playing down there more often. It's obviously not our choice. We don't book the shows, so we're glad that we were able to book shows down there again, and hopefully it won't be another 10 years before we get down.
And what do you remember of Chile and that show?
Oh, it was fun. I just remember having a lot of fun. I believe the last time we played Santiago was with I believe we were with Adrenaline Mob,
Yes.
the band, the supergroup band.
Yeah.
And I just remember having a lot of fun with those guys and having a lot of fun drinking a lot of tequila and not getting a lot of sleep and going to a lot of airports. But it's always a
Yeah,
blast. I find it so important to. One of my favorite things about what I do is getting to travel, getting to see other parts of the world, and I think it's so healthy for people. I know a lot of people who live in the U.S. who never ever leave their home country, never even leave their hometown, and I think it's good. I think it broadens your perspective on the world and makes you appreciative of other cultures and other places, and kind of just you just have a broader view of how the world works and getting to see different cultures firsthand. So it's for me, it's really fun to get to go to somewhere that I'm not used to being. And the other great perk about going to South America is no time zone changes. So sleep is a lot better. I'm just really glad to get back down there, and not even beyond all that. It's just a beautiful place to come visit.
And what are the you think the most important difference between the audience in USA and Europe with America, South America? I think because all the guys say that South America is very passionate and very different than other parts of the world.
I think the people themselves are naturally very passionate about the arts and about culture and all these things. But let's be honest. Audiences in the US were spoiled. There's a concert every day. There's a show always coming and going. But the harsh reality is, I mean, the U.S. and Europe being so flooded with mainstream music artists, you know, I unfortunately a lot of us don't get to come down to South America as often as we'd like. So one thing that we notice when we come down to South America is the appreciation that the crowd feels that we came down there, and the gratitude that we feel that they allow us to come down there and are actually come out and support us, and which is it's very much a reciprocal thing. The bands have to want to come down there, and the crowds have to want to come out and see the bands. So both things can happen. So we can actually get down there. So I'm incredibly grateful that we have an audience down there that allows us to come to South America. And every time we play down there, we feel this immense sense of gratitude. They tell us all the time, thank you so much for traveling all the way down here to play for us. It's much less abundant to see shows down there, I'm sure. But at the same time, we're just so thankful that just to be there. We're like, if we had it our way, we would come down here 2 or 3 times a year. So I don't know why it's been so long, but I really hope that that when we come down to South America this time, it will just prove to everybody that we have a really great following down there, and will enable us to come down more frequently.
Cool. Okay, the last time you came here, you had two albums. This time is you are coming with your new album Everest. So, what are the more important difference between that band 10 years ago, with the actual band?
We're
No
a
need,
lot more
no,
experienced.
yeah. But what do you feel? So, the experience is you had a better way to play the songs, or you have another way to do the songs. What is the most important difference, do you think?
Um, I think that well, first off, a lot of the playing on the newer music is a lot more complex than our old material. When we first, well, I should say, our first couple albums were aimed towards fitting on the radio, on rock radio stations, and everything had to be kind of simplified and easy to grasp. And I feel like the audience for heavier music nowadays appreciates more interesting nuances, more complex musicality, more energy, more excitement. I feel like the cookie cutter song structure is a lot is kind of obsolete nowadays. When you listen to a lot of newer rock bands that are that are really doing well nowadays, bands like Sleep Token, bands like I Prevail, Bad Omens, Turnstile, like all these bands are wanting to adopt a more interesting way of creating music, trying to get out of the traditional mold. So I feel like I it kind of happened by accident. Our last record, we worked with this producer Dave Cobb, and he really encouraged us to kind of get out of our old habits and to shake things up.
Okay.
When we get together and start writing music, I feel like we have a tendency to fall into what traditionally worked well for us, which is like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, big outro, and ta-da! There's a song. And now we're trying to shake things up. We're like, why don't we just take this crazy outro? What if that was the chorus? Or like what we would kind of write a song and then we would mess it up. And that was kind of the approach with a lot of songs on Everest. And it makes it more exciting, and it makes it more interesting, and it keeps the audience guessing. I like the fact that rock, metal, punk, hardcore music nowadays is a lot less predictable than it used to be. So therefore, when we approach playing music live, we have to really make sure that we can physically keep up with all these challenges that we threw ourselves during the recording process. So I approach touring much differently than I did back then, when the drumming was a lot more simple. I could be like, I'll have some beers on stage, and then we'll have some shots after. Maybe I'll get a couple hours of sleep. Don't worry, I'll be fine for the next show. But now it's like, no, like I want to like get up early, hit the gym, stretch, warm up properly, listen to the songs, practice them, make sure the tempos are solid, make sure the parts are clean. And so when I'm up on stage, I'm not letting my bandmates down, because my particular job in this band has gotten more complicated over the years. My fault. But it's more exciting, it's more fun, and it's more fulfilling now. So that's the short answer.
Cool.
Sorry.
Okay, and then yeah, and there is a particular track from Everest that you are really special, excited to play in South America or in Chile.
You know what? I've really been loving a lot of the. I'm kind of a punk lover at heart, at my core.
Yeah, cool.
And this is why I've always loved approaching kind of like a more aggressive, high energy punk style of drumming to a lot of Halestorm songs like Love Bites or Uncomfortable, or a lot of examples. But I really love songs like Watch Out, like Killing, Fallen Star. These are like the more high energy songs on the album Everest, and those are really fun to play live because they're at a certain tempo and a certain groove that encourages audiences to jump and bang their heads and mosh pit and have a good time. So I love to bust out those songs because you really feel that energy from the crowd, and they're really into it, which makes us really into it. It's it's a two-way street, I should say.
Okay, and what are your favorite bands? Because you love punk, as I love Offspring, Green Day, the classic one, Ramones. But what are your favorite bands?
Oh gosh. Oh man, don't ask me that question.
Or
Okay,
one or two, the classic ones.
we'll start with the ones that I grew up on, which were like Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin, Beatles, Cream, The Who, things like that. That my dad raised me on. And then later in my development, I was listening to Tool. I was listening to Nine Inch Nails. I was listening to a lot of different things. I was listening to Massive Attack, Daft
Massive
Punk,
Attack.
and I also love pop. Ooh, I'm zoomed in. Look at that. Look at that. That's
It's
weird.
auto.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Zoom.
I'm just gonna sit back here. Also love pop music. I love this artist called Tovlo, based out of
Also Zoom from Zoom.
What's that? Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
It's okay.
Oh, there we go. Now,
Yes.
oh, yeah. I love too much music to count, but there's a lot of newer, heavier bands that I really love. Like obviously, like we love Sleep Token. Sleep Token is like one of the pioneers for heavier music in the mainstream, which has captured like the mainstream audience and has brought people to love metal music. We just toured with this band called Bloodywood. They're amazing. They're based out of India, and they're bringing something brand new and something fresh to the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's too many to count, but
Yeah.
I haven't felt
I know it.
this excited to be in the rock and metal world in a long time. It feels like people are really appreciating it a lot more nowadays than they were in I want to say maybe 5-10 years ago.
Okay. And talking about your band and your chemistry, Halestorm is known for its powerful performance. How do you to maintain that level of intensity night after night and having so chemistry in the show? Because if someone sees your shows, it sees that you are a band, only a band. You are a group of friends playing music. It's easy to do, or it's only happened.
As far as friends go, like, yeah, like we still get along great, which is weird, I think that's weird for a lot of bands. One thing that one thing rare about us is that we have been the same lineup since 2003. So since we've been signed, since we've toured, obviously all four of us love doing this and we love doing it together. I don't know if the family aspect of the band, Lizzie and I being siblings, has just infiltrated the entire camp, and everybody likes that vibe. And I mean, Joe and Josh have become like my literal brothers. Like we're literally siblings, all four of us. So it feels like to me anyway. And also with our crew, with our management company, with our record label, with our booking agent, with our business management, everybody involved has this family and team like mentality. I don't know if that has just kept us going and kept everyone together for this long, but I'm very grateful for it. But yeah, the way that we approach touring now is a lot different than it was in our, at least for me, and I'll speak for myself. When I first started touring in my mid to late teens, in my early 20s, I definitely approach it a lot differently. Like I was saying earlier, like I love to go on tour and like not drink, get plenty of sleep, eat really healthy, stretch, work out, conditioning, mobility, warming up. Like I take it real. Listening to the songs, memorizing the tempos. Because the other challenging thing about Hailstorm is that we don't play to a click. We don't have any backing tracks. It's as raw as it gets. So to compete with these other bands that have these fail safes, that have these having a playback rig filling up the sound, and we have to do it ourselves with our hands and with our voices. It is a bit more challenging. Like it requires a lot more training. It requires a lot more practice and listening. And for me, a lot more focus on my playing, my velocities, my consistency, my tempos, my singing, everything all at once. There's nothing easy about it, but I love a good challenge. So and let me just say that I'm not against bands that use playback. I have another project called Chemical Fire. We use playback. I think it's fine if you want to do that. I'm not anti tracks. If you want to express your art in that way, then that's great. But with Hailstorm, we're so technologically illiterate that everything would go wrong every night. So the best approach for us is just to keep it as raw as possible, which is really good. It's the most effective, I think, for us personally. But it does make it challenging, but also a fun challenge.
Okay. And just the last question, I think, what comes in the future for Hailstorm? And is there something hasn't done yet that you would still love to accomplish with Hailstorm?
There are so many countries that we haven't gone to yet. We've the only countries in Asia that we've played are Japan, um, and Russia, which I'm kind of unsure where Russia is, but continentally. But yeah, we've only done Japan. Um, so I'd love to be able to go to India. I'd love to be able to go to Dubai. I'd love to go to South Korea or China or other places or Indonesia, things like that. Have never gotten to play there. Would love to be able to like go to a place like Morocco, something like that. And there's also a lot of countries in South America that I would love to check off my bucket list. Love to go to Uruguay, Paraguay. I would love to go to places in Middle America. Would love to go to like Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, Nicaragua, Panama, or Costa Rica. There's so many places I would still love to come visit. So my goal over the next couple of years is to hopefully get to just go to some new places that I haven't been to before and experience some new things. So that's one of the most fun parts of the job. Oh yes, I just want to say, uh, I hope I get this right. Uh, uh, Hang on a second. I want to make sure that I don't mess this up. One moment. Oh, uh, Ti amo, Ti amo Chile, and muchas gracias. Mwah! See you soon.